Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and we are back with another 10 sort of new to us games that we played on Board Game Arena. We've done several of these, and we've done actually a decent amount of them recently.
Yeah.
And this one will kind of be a continuation of kind of our last one. We had a few kind of spookier themed games. This one will have a couple as well, as you can see what we're starting with here. Just because as of filming this, it's Halloween each season. So yeah, we're playing a couple of those, but then we got some other stuff as well. So um, yeah, we'll just kind of talk about these games a little bit and just give a ranking of them. We're not actually giving them, I guess, kind of scores or anything, but actually, this one, I was going to say, let us know if you want us to do any like further, deeper content on any of these games. But we do actually have a gameplay of the Bloody
Yeah.
Inn if you wanted to check that one out. But yeah, otherwise, we'd love to do that. Love playing these games on Board Game Arena. But let us know what you are playing in the comments below on Board Game Arena. But yeah, like I
Yes.
said, we will start with the Bloody Inn.
Oh boy. So we got 10 games, so we reveal what place each of them goes as we go through them. We try to keep it kind of in the order we played them. So maybe there's a big one in the end, maybe it's a dud, maybe it's a big one to start, maybe this is number one. I'll tell you, this is not my number one. This time around, this one was tough. It came in kind of at the bottom of a batch that was really tight, kind of in the middle there, top half. And it's just outside of the top half at number six for me, which is surprising because I could see it being all the way up to like
Hmm.
maybe top three even. But we have a playthrough list. We talked about it. We ranked the Halloween games, the five spooky themed games, and you can see more of our thoughts on the game there. But I really like the card system in this game, as there's kind of cards you're drafting and you're spending cards to get those cards, bribe them, add them to your hand, spending cards again for the to place the cards into your tableau, spending cards to take out those people cards in the market, and then spending cards to bury them. And kind of each of those actions is different, and the different colors of the cards have specialties. And when you spend the specialty cards for that specialty action, you get those cards back into your hand and don't lose them. I think that's an awesome mechanism, and it's just really a fun. It's a dark theme, but it's kind of I think handled in a fun way, or at least we handle it and take it in a fun, light way where it's just a little goofy and how things can get out of hand and you have too many bodies and then the authorities are showing up and then you just have to keep digging the hole deeper and deeper and it's a lot of fun. It's got some cool stuff.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that card mechanism is my favorite one where, yeah, the cards are a currency essentially, and then
Yeah,
depending on what color cards they are, they can be a discount when you are taking actions with them.
yeah,
I love that mechanism, and I'd love to see it in other games. Let us know if there are other games that use something like that, because I'd love to see it in another game. But yeah, I've got this one at number two. I don't know if it's just because it's kind of uh, that spooky-ish time. But with our couple of plays of this one that we've gotten in, um, I feel like this whole top 10 to me, I could see potential small issues with all the games. So I don't know if I've got any that are like just strong contender, even though this one is number two. Uh, I like it a lot, but I don't know if I'm like, oh, this one is shooting up into my top games of all time kind of thing. And
yeah,
yeah, I think with this one, towards the end of the game sometimes, and this might just be, not might be, it likely is bad planning on my part, but kind of that end can sneak up on you, it feels like, and
yeah,
then you just kind of can't do it all because you only get two actions per turn, and it's just like, oh, I want to do all these cool things, but um, yeah, if you don't take care of business before the end of the game, you can kind of get pretty slapped pretty hard with
yeah,
negative points. So um, that would be the only thing that I'm like, kind of feels like I don't. I like games that make you feel like you don't get to do it all and can't do everything, but
yeah,
I just feel like this one, I wish I could do just maybe a little bit more,
yeah,
but
yeah,
still really like what it does.
yeah. And another spooky one. Don't go in there. And this is one that you had actually played before we played it on Board Game Arena.
Yes, and I played the physical copy of this and did not realize it was on Board Game Arena, but once I saw that, I knew we had to come back and play it because I actually played it around Halloween last year. It was during this convention where they had a play to win section. Played it there, and I was like, ooh, I this one felt thematically like spooky, and I was hoping I was going to win the physical copy. Did not, and then I don't know if I immediately searched Board Game Arena to see if it was on there, or for some reason I looked,
Yeah.
or maybe you mentioned it was on there, or heard it was on there. Like, yep, we gotta play that next year and do a video about it. So we got a playthrough of this one as well. But yeah, I thought the system was interesting, pretty simple and interesting,
Yeah.
just because you got these kind of different rooms you can go in, and each room kind of has some unique feature about it. And there's kind of four spots you can go in. You can either go in deeper, and that's a little more risky, but you'll get kind of each one of these rooms will have three cards above it, and you will be drafting those, the people that are in that room. And the closer you are to, or the further you go into the room, the sooner you get to pick a card. But you risk, because each of the cards will have some, I think either one or two dice symbols on it, and you'll sum all those up and you'll roll these dice, and it will be a certain number of ghosts. So if you roll a lot of ghosts and you're further in, you don't get some of those negated because kind of there's the four spots, and each spot kind of has a flashlight, one additional flashlight for the than the spot before it. So the flashlights avoid taking one of those ghosts because at the end of the game, you'll look at all your ghosts, compare them amongst all the players, and whoever had the most will get negative points.
Yeah.
Um, but then the actual cards themselves, I feel like, are interesting. It makes me think of like an ethno style thing where you're kind of getting this collection of cards together. Maybe not quite ethnos, but
Yeah.
just because they're all different ones and they kind of do different things. So you might want, I think, like three mirrors or something. If you get three of them at the end of the game, you discard three, or maybe you do it immediately. Um, I think the amulet ones, it's like you've got so they got curses on them, and like the one cursed amulet can take out a two cursed amulet, the two cursed one can take out a three or something like that. So they all kind of do these unique things. So sometimes you want to take these ones with a lot of curses on them because maybe you'll be able to get rid of them before the end of the game because you want the least amount of curses. So it just I don't know felt like it all came together in a really kind of fun, quick, simple package for me. And yeah, I've got this one at number five, so kind of right in the middle. And there are a few of these, like you said, that I have that I'm like, it just depends what I'm looking for, I think.
Yeah.
Just because it's five doesn't mean, oh, it's definitely better than six. Might just depend on the time of year. If it's a spooky time, it's probably a little higher than some
Yeah.
others.
Yeah. I have this one. I mean, it sounds low. I have it 8, but I definitely don't hate this game. This one, I'd say this whole set of 10 is just a bunch of solid kind of B tier games kind of in our collection where I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I'd be down to play probably any of these anytime, but not so many currently breaking through that to that top level, but not really any falling through to be a bad game, I wouldn't say. And this is definitely not a bad game. I think just maybe an issue there with kind of what cards end up coming out in maybe the last few rounds where you can see all the
yeah,
cards that are available, and then you look at what you got in your collection, and you're like, there's not really anything good out here for me anymore, and that can just be a little underwhelming. But on the opposite side, maybe it's just going to be like a really interesting end to the game. So there's just maybe a little bit in there with how it plays out, how the cookie crumbles.
right.
Could hurt a play or something with this,
That's true.
but a solid one. And then, oh, the spookiest of them all, Luck the game. FlipToons. I think I don't know if you were maybe interested in this one. I think I maybe learned it, and you're like, you played FlipToons without me. And this one, as I was learning it, it's you're kind of building your deck and firing it off again and again and again and trying to make it better and better with the kind of 9 cards that you're playing out into this grid. Each card scoring, getting you income in different ways, sometimes for what it's next to or where it's placed in your grid, or just being a high value card. Maybe it gets rid of other cards. Maybe you can cull your deck a little bit. Classic deck building stuff there. But yeah, just trying to build those synergies and get your score better and better each round to get it above 30. 30 is the goal that you want to get to in a single round because you kind of refresh every round, buy some more cards. But then each round you could be one short for 30. It don't matter. It don't matter. You'll have a lot more to buy cards, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't help you win. But then once someone does fire off for a round and get 30, at least 30, that tells you they get a couple bonus points for the final round. That is then the next round, where everyone fires off one last time, and then whoever's the highest in that round is the winner. So you could lose every single round in the game, or you could dominate every single round in the game, and just have an off round in the actual one that matters. And I think that happened to you in our gameplay where you were like well ahead of me most of the game, but had by
Mhm.
far the worst round in the one that mattered, which was fun for me that I had a chance, and I like that about it. I love the core system of getting those cards and all that, and building it. But just that wild luck factor kind of had this one kind of going back and forth in my ratings, my rankings. It ended up number 5 for me, but it could go up. It could go up to maybe a top three. Again, it's kind of like that 3 to 6 range of games that I had a hard time ranking.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that hurt it for me is that um, ending thing. I mean, it feels like a quick and short enough game that it's
Yeah,
not like totally devastating, but I could see how that would be a little bit painful. But it didn't hurt it that much for me. It ended up being number three for me because I did like the actual system itself quite a bit. But so I found kind of I don't know, the journey to be more interesting than
mm,
maybe that final thing. Like I had a lot of fun leading up to that point, so that I was like, man, I don't know about that ending. I get it. It kind of works, but at
yeah,
the same time, I'm like, kind of maybe feels like it should just be the first to 30. But
yeah,
I guess that gives people another chance.
yeah,
And you do get that little bit of bonus,
yeah.
that three measly points. But no,
Yeah,
I like this one quite a bit.
yeah. It's one of the wildest games, I would say.
It is.
Bunch. Which I think could help it in the long run. It could be one of my
I
most
think
played,
so.
for sure.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Ooh, Monster Trick. A trick-taking game that we played at 2 players. And I don't think most trick-taking games probably are better at more players, and I think that this one would also be more interesting at more players. So that's a little bit of the reason why it ended up at number 10 for me, personally. And it has some cool stuff in it, where you have, for us, in 2 players, there's 4 different colors and numbers 1 through 6, and you split that between the 2 players. So you know exactly what your opponent has, you know what you have. That's the part where I think it could be more interesting with more players, not knowing exactly who has what.
Hmm.
And then you have 4 slots for ongoing tricks. And they could be tricks of same colors, tricks of different colors. And based on the amount of tricks you win, you will score a certain amount of points. Because at the beginning of the game, you have 3 different valued cards. And so let's say this one's worth 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. If you put them in that order, if you get one trick, so the first trick you get, you reveal the first card, which would be 1 point. Then if you win a second trick, you flip that back over, flip over the second card. 2 points. That's what you're currently scoring. If you then get 3 tricks, then you flip the next one. If you get 4, you go back around, flip over the to that first one. So it's not like locked in. I want to win exactly this many tricks, but you kind of have your built kind of scoring track that you're going through as you win more and more tricks, which was really intriguing. But sadly, in 2 player game, there's just not enough cards. There's not enough tricks being won to really kind of go through that cycle more than once. I
Hmm.
think there's only going to be, what, 6 tricks possible to win in the game. And I don't know. It just hurt it, but I like the core pieces, the twists that they have there. So hoping to play this at a more interesting player count.
Yeah, I would agree. I have this one at number nine. I did like that actual um, kind of point system, but yeah, other than that, at two, it just like most trick-taking games, unless it's specifically designed for two, it just didn't wasn't quite as
Yep.
interesting.
Yep. Ooh. Sausage sizzle.
Sausage Sizzle A.E.R.O. Yeah, Sausage Sizzle is actually one that I played the physical copy of, and I don't know if Pepper remember that or not. Uh,
Ooh.
Telly asked or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, we actually have an unboxing video and a first impression of Sausage Sizzle, and yeah, I didn't realize that this was the exact same game. But I'm like, oh, Pepper, we better try it because I hadn't played that one in a while, and um, yeah, it's a somewhat simple game. It's kind of Yahtzee styled esque. You can
Yeah.
kind of there's kind of six different things you can score, and once you score it, you're done with that one. You can no longer do it because you've got kind of these six different. In this one, it's like alien type creatures
Yeah.
or something. So you have dice that you're rolling of that. What is it? Is it four of them or five dice? Four dice?
I think there's four dice of numbers and four dice of the criminals. I think you're arresting them or something. There's
Oh,
one
okay.
for each side. Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, then the dice values have sausage sizzle on some of their sides, but otherwise they kind of have somewhat normal values on them. They're slightly different. There's two different colors of them, and they're slightly different. Some with better odds and worse odds for different
Yeah.
numbers. But yeah, so you're rolling all of these eight dice at once, and then you have to kind of keep at least one, but you could keep more if you want to, and then you'll roll again and keep at least one of those, and keep going until you've stopped essentially, and then you'll decide which one of the people you're trying to arrest, and for every one of those faces that you ended up keeping, you'll take that and multiply it times the lowest number of the numbered dice, or if you had all sausage chisels, you'd get a multiplier of what is it, seven, I believe.
Seven. Yeah.
Seven. But if you had just one, two, or three sausage sizzles, it would only be one. So you're taking a risk with those,
Yeah.
especially once you keep them, because you can't. Once you keep something, you can't like throw it back in there later. Can't change
Yeah.
your mind. But yeah, and then you just kind of multiply those two things together and take the score for that. Do that kind of six different times. Pretty luck based
Yeah.
because sometimes you just aren't rolling the different people, and you could roll four sausages and have like nothing to multiply it against, or vice versa. You could have all four of them and just roll terrible numbers. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of luck to this one, but it's a fun little quick game. And yeah, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple.
It
I
is.
It's a family friendly game, I think. I've got this one at number seven. Just because, yeah, it's gonna be one that I might play every now and then. But it's at the end of the day kind of luck based, and you could be trying to swing for the fences, and sometimes, like Pepper, last round you get a great score. He didn't need it; he only needed a couple points, but he really smacked me around in the last round.
I was just gonna play it safe and try to get like 3 points, and you said, "Come on, go for the sausage." I don't know what they are in this game. They're sausage sizzles to us, and I got it. So thanks to you, I whooped you by even more. And maybe it was that specific playthrough that helped this one all the way up to number one for me. And like this is
Wow.
just I don't know. I don't know if I would have seen this coming, but it's just that kind of, I think that's why it's broken through is because everything else is so tight. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. This one has broken through as a quick filler game that I can just go to, get just the unique push your luck aspect in there while still not feeling too hard and too difficult to get right. You can have a great round, you can have a terrible round and still win the game. It's just a little bit of shoot your moon in every turn that I love, and it just ends up number one. I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I think it's gonna be one of my go-to kind of filler games on here. I
Oh,
love dice games. There's probably a theme in all of these lists we make. There's always some small dice game that I'm like, oh, that I put way high and you have just in the middle somewhere. But
yeah.
that's just our difference in taste. But yeah, a sausage theme. Oh man, I'd like to try that.
That's what I
Must
thought when I initially got it.
must own both.
And I think it Inca and Marcus Brand, I believe,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, Inca Marcus Brand. Wow. Crazy. They have wildly different games.
They really do.
And so does
Not this one. The
Phil
Filler
Walker
Walker
Harding.
Harding.
Talk about a filler.
And this is another talk about all these games I've played in
Yeah.
person. But yeah, all of them seems like a year ago now. Haven't gotten back to this one either until now, and that was part of the reason I was like, you know what, I'm kind of feeling playing it. So yeah, some of these are cheats because I have played them before,
Yeah.
but had not played them on Board Game Arena before. And this one's a pretty simple kind of drafting style game where you're building your uh, kind of city tableau in front of you and trying to meet certain goals and trying to get points via that way. And there's kind of some different tiles that you're kind of getting these, I don't know, park type features or else these water features, and you're trying to get kind of set collection with those. You're stacking these buildings to different heights with the different colors as well. And yeah, the drafting mechanism is just pretty simple, pretty smooth. You kind of can, depends on player count. A two-player game, you're taking, there's kind of four different sections. You're either taking additional end game scoring cards, you're taking kind of these board tiles. You can kind of see in that picture there's 2 by 2 squares with either building spaces on them or grass or water. So you can draft those, or you can draft the tiles to kind of put on top of those places, or you can draft the buildings that go on top of the building spaces. And typically, I think in a higher player count game, you get kind of one of each. But in a two-player game, you get two from each one. So kind of once one player in a two-player game takes both of their things from a certain area, you kind of just wait on that. So it's kind of interesting, like, oh, what's the most important of these things that I want, and which things am I kind of fine with no matter what are kind of the final two that I get left with. So I do actually like it a decent amount at two. But yeah, I'd be interested in playing this one at 3 or 4. I think it'd still be pretty simple, pretty easy flow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it is. It lives up to Filler Walker Harding's name. It's a filler game, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've got it at number 4.
Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah,
And
this one is.
Pepper hates it. I haven't seen. I watched his game log. I have not seen him go back to it since I whooped him.
I went back to it once.
Did you?
And I
I did
beat
not see it.
I
I did
beat
not see it. I don't believe you.
I beat a guy. It was a very close game, and he said too close. I'm like, I don't know what that means. But it was too close. It was heartbreakingly close, I guess. I got a good draw of buildings at the end. I took the random two and got a stack of two reds to make it a stack of four reds for 6 points. But pretty much any color at that point was going to be good for me. So um, yeah, and that I do enjoy this one. This one is a crossover at number 4 for me
Wow.
as well. So you can shuddy
I thought
about
it'd be
me
way
not
lower
liking
on
it
your list.
as much. Yeah, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
just got a lot of elements. This one's kind of right in that mix there with like FlipToons, Bloody In, where I'm like, oh, these could mix up in any way. But this one, it's got a lot of cool elements. I like what you said about that two players where it can kind of be locked in what you're getting in a location, and that feels good. It's just like, okay, I don't have to worry about that, and now I can choose between the maybe the two other spaces that I have to go to. And yeah, there's always, I like the customization of your scoring cards that you get. Sometimes as with all the games, I think that's the only negative thing here is sometimes things just don't come out, or bad things
Mhm.
come out, or just not the colors that you need of the buildings, or not the scoring conditions. Or when we played, I had like three scoring conditions for the same color of building for level one, two, and three, or whatever. So I'm like, I'm just getting less and less points if I upgrade it. I'm like, I'm getting 2 points there. even though it's worth 4, I'm only increasing it a little bit in reality, and
Right.
so there can be some negatives, but that's just luck. That's just what it's going to be, and bad skill, bad play by me. But
Right.
it's a
And
good
I
one.
wonder
It
if
is
that
good.
wouldn't be mitigated a little bit if it was a higher player count
Oh
game, because
yeah,
then I think you'd
you're only
get
getting
kind of
one of
cycle
them.
through more things,
Yeah,
more
I
turns,
could
and
see
then
that.
yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I don't think I've played it at anything other than two.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But yeah, good. Another good filler. Ooh, movers and shakers. I wonder if the other one, what was the other one called that was on here? Same company.
Stupor Monday?
Super Monday, yes. Was that in? I think you did a playthrough of it. I think I
I
watched you
think
and you
so.
did a solo playthrough of it. So go check out that video. I forget if we were doing these kind of ranking the 10 games or if that was just a
I don't
standalone
remember.
thing.
That was probably a standalone thing. I don't remember if we were doing them at that point or not.
Yeah,
Um,
probably not, but that was a good one. I like that game, and I guess we'll
yeah.
see if we like this one more or less. I guess that doesn't spoil it. Do you like this one more or less than Super Monday?
I think this
I
one's a little bit more approachable, but I do like a lot of what Stupor Monday does. So
yeah,
that'll be hard.
it
It
would be
depends if I
hard.
want to, if I want a little simpler, quicker feeling. I think that one might be a little bit longer. But
Yeah.
I think I like them both, and I like this one quite a bit actually as my number one.
Ooh.
Which
Yeah.
that's sort of like I don't know,
Oops.
maybe just a little hypey on that because it's also one where we played it at two players. This is an alpha. I don't
Yeah.
know for sure if this one will be coming to Board Game Arena or not, so note that. But I think they're coming out with a Kickstarter soon, so you can get your copy there. I don't know when that, or maybe GameFound. I don't remember. Because I think they did that kind of with Super Monday around that same time. So maybe we will do additional content on this one when that comes to crowdfunding. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure how this would play with more players. I think it could be even a little more interesting. Would you
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah, it could be with the shipping of your crates and putting them onto everyone's trains. Where I think the way that we play, we might be a little more tempted to just try to get everything onto our own train and get everything ourselves to the place. But they try to mitigate it where when you put multiple crates on, you can't have them on the same train. So. They try to mitigate it, but we do our best to do everything on our own and not help each other. But it
Because
might
yeah,
also spread it out too much, maybe.
that's true. That's true.
Although it's kind of the same thing with two players, where it's like, what are you gaining or losing if you're just all trading with each other? And
Yeah.
maybe that's just the game. Maybe that's just a negative of the game.
That might be, and that's where I don't feel 100% confident with me picking this as my number one, but I did enjoy what we did quite a bit because yeah, you've got this board of you'll get to take what is it, six
Yeah.
actions, and you'll get to do that two times, so 12 actions in the game. So not a lot that you get to do, but
Yeah.
yeah, you'll essentially most of the time be either adding crates to trains, and you can only add them to ones that are in kind of there's four specific areas where they can be in that you can add them to. And like you said, you most of the time can only add them to different ones. And you might be able to add anywhere from like, I don't know, it seemed like two to four was maybe about how many you'd be able to add with one, maybe. Um, and yeah, eventually then they would either be full or I think they had to be at least half full. And then your other kind of main action you're doing is moving these along these tracks. And it's kind of a rondel board with kind of two cities that you're trying to get to, or canals or whatever they were specifically. And you'll be kind of going along these tracks, and you can kind of push other trains that are in front of you on these tracks. And there's kind of some double track areas. So if you're like pushing something and you say you have like five movement, but you don't want to continue pushing that one further because then you're helping that player. Maybe you don't have any cubes on it. Then you can kind of cut that or push that one off onto the other track, and then you just keep going along the other one. And um, I just found that system to be kind of fun.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it
But
is.
this one also, I feel like this one also had that thing towards the end where it's like, I think it's just, obviously playing it for the first time. Um, you got to just kind of have things a little planned ahead
Yeah,
of time. Otherwise, you can kind of get to maybe your last action or two and kind of just be like, is there really a lot I can do or not?
yeah,
That's maybe the only problem, but yeah, otherwise, kind of that card system is fun. So you get to play six of those cards that have mainly those actions. I think they have
yeah,
kind of some other slight things you can potentially do if you meet certain requirements. I like that in games where it's like, oh, you can do this on a card, and if you meet this requirement, you can also do this or do additional ones instead or something. Um, I love that kind of thing. And then you're also placing them on these boards, and those allow you to, depending on if you put it on the bottom or top, you get like an additional bonus thing that you get to do. And there's tracks and stuff that all just lots of details in this Euro style game, and I liked it a lot.
yeah. That moving around, pushing on the board is so much fun, and all the tracks are good, and there's so much good stuff. It's so
I,
fun. I'm moving 5 spaces, and I'm pushing the 4 cars in front of me, and they just all
I
move.
think that's the part that I just love. It makes me kind of get the same feeling I get, and maybe other people probably don't feel this. And Pepper, you probably feel it maybe too, and we're maybe the only two. But in Sky Team, when we're taking other planes out of the sky, just the joy from that, and the way we see. I don't know. Something about that is just a lot of fun, and I just think the same thing with these trains. Like it's just blasting
This
speed
is
and
just
pushing all these ahead
unstoppable.
of. Just something
Um,
fun about that.
yeah, so I have a really light game at my number one, and probably the heaviest game at my number two with movers and shakers. It's a lot of fun. Everything that we said, and a good name too.
I do like that name.
Ooh, Rainforest. Now, name.
Rainforest feels like we've had. I feel like if I looked at covers out there within the last few years, I feel like many of them could have been called
I
Rainforest.
was just gonna say that was a unique name. This is the least unique name I've ever heard.
Because yeah, if you showed me, even though I just played it, you could probably line me up like five of these boxes and strip the names off of them and ask me which one was Rainforest. I would be like, I don't know. I know that one's Everdell, but outside of that,
Oh, man. Yeah, I was not concerned, but I'm like, oh, here's a nature game. Seems easy enough. I'll learn it, and it was pretty easy to learn. You are got a 3 by 3 grid that you're filling up in order from bottom to top, right to left, or left to right, bottom top, whatever you call it, like a snake. Um, but you're doing that by going out to these locations that have tiles that are different colors and values and requirements of tokens to complete them, and then the tokens as well. And it's kind of at a shared location, similar to Cascadia, where it's a tile and a token, except this is a bunch of tokens under the tiles. And when you do that, you can take the tile into your kind of workshop that you'll be placing tokens onto it until it's full and putting it into your tableau in the bottommost spot. But when you take the tokens from that location, you choose either all of a color or all of an animal symbol. So based on the makeup of tokens there, you could sweep like 4 or 5 tokens at once. The different locations have different amounts of tokens, which is interesting. I don't know if because they're also based on the colors of the tiles for those columns. I don't know if some colors are more valuable than others. I don't know, but there
Mhm.
must be some reason there. But it's really satisfying when you get a bunch. But you can't carry too many over to the next round, so you have to have the places on your in your workshop on those tiles to place them. And maybe you get the good tiles to complete this tile, but you don't want it completed yet because you want the tiles in your tableau to be placed next to other ones of those colors to get those bonuses for getting 3 and 4 together to get multipliers. And it's a really unique system, or maybe not unique. There's a lot of things that we've seen in other places, but I think it ties them together really well. And this one ended up number 3 for me.
Hmm. Yeah, this one ended up number 8 for me.
Oh, wow.
I could see where, yeah, you just I don't know if it's unluckiness, but
Oh, yeah.
sometimes the things you need just aren't coming out.
Yeah, just not
And
paired together or something.
right, like I felt like this gameplay that I had of this one, I just felt like kind of my last couple bang bang tiles were, and the tokens that I got to put on them, it just felt like it just landed out perfectly for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I feel like that's not going to happen most games, but I mean that felt satisfying.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's going to be the actual feel every time I play this game. But yeah, I liked it. I just think it felt a little tougher than I thought to get. Kind of there's the bonuses if you get a
Yeah.
bunch of the colored tiles together or connected. I just felt like that was a little more difficult than I would have liked because I like those things in games, but since it's only a 3x3 grid,
Yeah.
it makes it very difficult. Even though some can be multicolored, it just still it's pretty tough. I think to get. I ended up getting two, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. I can't see
I
getting more than that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
tough.
I don't think so. But yeah, I'd still play this one again. I just maybe a little lower on my list.
Yeah. And then Martian Dice. Oh, I wonder what spot this is for him. This is from Scott Alms, Mr. Tiny Epic. Was this a tiny epic success for you?
Actually, it was. I had a pretty good time with this one. This one's
Mhm.
number six for me.
Wow.
I know it's this one's very lucky too. This one's very lucky. It makes me think a little bit of A.E.R.O.
Yeah.
But there's something about it that I just enjoyed a little bit more. I don't know if it's the kind of graphics here on Board Game Arena, but there are tanks that come up and the Martian ships, and yeah, if you don't have enough Martian ships to take out those tanks, or if you do, either way, you kind of get some mini explosions there. It's just fun little thing, especially on here. I don't know if maybe it wouldn't be as interesting in real life when they're not blowing up like that. And the scoring itself probably isn't that interesting because, yeah, each round you have to take any tanks you rolled, and then you can take kind of all of one set of something, and you can no longer then take those things unless it's the alien spaceships. Um, so it's very lucky, but there's just something about it that I enjoyed. I don't know. I'm sure I could play it more and then be like, yeah, I've maybe had my fill of the game, but there's just something about it that's fun.
Yeah, that is funny. Like even if you're not getting any of the scoring pieces, just trying to keep up with the tanks. If I do, I get a little bit of satisfaction, even
It's
though I
true.
scored 0 points.
Right.
But yeah, this one was number 7 for me.
Okay.
And I was tempted. I had it just slightly on the edge of that kind of 6 through 3. I kind of had those tight. But then as I was considering it, I'm like, I should probably throw Martian Dice into that one because it's similar to Arrow, where I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just a fun, quick game, and there's wild things that can happen. So I think this one could become a go-to and climb those ranks.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I wasn't suspecting it right away.
No.
And then the last one here, which is coming in my number 9.
Yes, this one for me is my number 10. It ended up being.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is another dice game that we've got here, so a little bit of luck base. But I feel like there's something. It feels like it should be more interesting than I think the experience actually gave, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you've got this kind of sheet where you're rolling these three dice, kind of a orange, yellow, and purple die, or you can, um, and they've got kind of three rows that you are filling in, and if you've played Welcome to, you kind of have to add numbers in these rows in order, or not order, but from lowest to highest. And yeah, I can't repeat numbers in them. But then also they're kind of stacked on top of each other, so you can't repeat a number in the same columns if they are lined up. So kind of some interesting little things there. But then also the other interesting thing is you can choose if you want to roll like one of the die, a single die, like oh, I want to just roll the orange die or the yellow or purple, or you can choose to roll two of them, so you can do the yellow and orange, or yellow and purple and orange, or you could roll all three of them if you want to. So you can kind of try to shoot for kind of different ranges of numbers, but obviously with the three, the highest number it could be is 18.
Yeah.
And if you roll just one, you could get down to a one. Um, and in some ways, that sounds cool and interesting. And you do get a reroll, but uh,
Yeah.
it just felt like a little bit, ended up being a little more kind of lucky than I would have liked. And
Yeah.
it just didn't end up seeing me like all that important because it's like, oh, I'm gonna roll two because it should get me around this number. And I feel like towards the end, you kind of have limited spaces
Yeah.
because you're kind of filling these in, and then you have less options, obviously. And that was just some of the times like rolling these two, like oh, it should get close to this number, and it just kept rolling bad number after bad number after bad number,
Yeah.
and then yeah, you have to use it if you're the one rolling, and then everyone else can choose to use that number, but they do not have to. And if you cannot, you get kind of -5 points. If you have to do that four times, the game's over.
Yeah.
And uh, yeah, and then you see who has the most points. But yeah, feels like it should be a little more interesting than it ends up being, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. It kind of brings you back down to earth. With those higher numbers, you're like, oh, 15, there's 16, 17, 18. I'll leave two spots to the right of that in the track. It's like you're not gonna get two of those numbers. It's very unlikely. So with time, you strategize a little different, but I think yeah, that's a big part of the game and forcing who is going to have to end up having to roll for those harder ones and maybe just trying to survive at the end of the game. And I'm going to roll just one die, and I have a couple spots here that I can place it in. And then they maybe don't have a spot there. They're going to have to roll a riskier roll, which adds some interest to it. But yeah, it just wasn't as satisfying with those big rolls that I was hoping to get. But
Hmm.
still,
Yeah,
it's a puzzle, and it's satisfying when you can get some things to intersect just right. But
yeah,
it's tough. It's a learning curve for sure.
yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our 10 rankings for these 10 games. Like I said, let us know if you want to see more content on any of these individual games. And yeah, let us know if you've played these, which one is your favorite, or which other games you've been playing recently on Board Game Arena that we maybe have to check out that you've really been enjoying. But yeah, if you made it this far, you can give us a thumbs up, subscribe for future videos like this. We've actually been doing a decent amount of them.
Yeah.
We'll see if that continues. I feel like there's some hot streaks sometimes with playing a lot of new ones on here, and then sometimes you just go back to ones you know, and you just play it a ton over and over.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.